Fake news is like fire in a dry forest. One spark, and suddenly everything around it is engulfed in flames. Meanwhile, truth is like water, heavy, slow, deliberate, and rarely making headlines. But here's the real question. Why does the lie always seem to outrun the truth? Why do we see fabricated stories explode across the internet before reality even gets the chance to open its eyes? And more importantly, who benefits from this game? Because once you start pulling the thread of fake news, you realize we might be all tangled in something bigger. Something that feels less like information and more like a social experiment we never signed up for. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I hope you're doing well. I go beyond the surface level on topics that question the everyday systems around us. My goal is to yap your ear off. Today, we're diving into why fake news travels faster than the truth. And trust me, you'll never scroll through your feed the same way again. MIT researchers studied this exact question, and what they found was shocking. Fake news on Twitter spreads 6 times faster than real news. 6 times. That's not just an edge, that's a landslide. Imagine a race where the truth is still stretching at the starting line, while the lie is already breaking through the finish tape. Why? Because lies are dressed up to be irresistible. They're emotional, they're outrageous, they're shocking. Nobody clicks on a headline that says, all is fine, nothing new here, but write a headline that screams, massive cover-up exposed, or celebrity secret revealed. Suddenly, we can't look away. Fake news is candy, quick, sweet, addictive. And truth? The truth is like vegetables, important, grounding, but not always thrilling. But here's where it gets darker. Social media algorithms, the invisible hands behind your screen, aren't built to show you what's real. They're built to keep you hooked. Outrage, shock, drama. That's their love language. I talked about this in another video, but here's the short version. Algorithms don't show you the whole world. They show you your world, a carefully curated bubble that feeds you more of what you've already clicked, shared, or lingered on, which means if a lie hooks you once, the algorithm says, perfect, let me serve you 10 more lies just like it. So fake news isn't just running faster, it's being chauffeured, carried on a velvet cushion, given a megaphone, all because your attention is currency, and the system has no moral obligation to care whether the story is true, only whether you'll keep scrolling. It's fair to assume this is probably why a lot of people you may know that have strong-minded opinions when it comes to certain topics is a result of the algorithm that understands your beliefs and what keeps you on the screen longer. It will keep you in an echo chamber that constantly reinforces one opinion. It's certainly a whole other level of sheltered. Here's where this becomes more than just gossip. Fake news has changed elections, it's fueled violence, it's destroyed reputations. Think about it. In 2016, millions believed that the Pope had endorsed a US presidential candidate. Totally false, but it spread like wildfire. Or how about the infamous shark photo that resurfaces every hurricane season? A shark supposedly swimming down a flooded freeway, completely fake, but shared thousands of times. And then there's that so-called Wayfair trafficking conspiracy. I'm all for conspiracies, but people genuinely believed furniture was being sold with hidden children inside. There was no evidence, no truth, but it became an online frenzy. Even in lighter corners of culture, like Love Island, for example, fake news takes center stage. Entire narratives are crafted out of thin air. That contestant cheated. That couple broke up. She secretly hates him. Most of it, pure fiction. But it spreads fast because it fuels drama. Fans will consume it. Media amplifies it. And suddenly these people's real lives are overshadowed by lies invented for clicks. And the sad truth, we rarely stop to check. We don't pause, we don't research, we just share. We just run with it. And once enough people believe the lie, it doesn't matter how many times you correct it. The seed has already been planted, along with thousands of unnecessary opinions on that topic. And this is where it gets personal. Because I'll admit, it really makes me wonder how much of my own reality has been shaped by what I've been shown. How many of my thoughts, my reactions, my outrage aren't even truly mine. Sometimes it feels like we're living in a hall of mirrors. Every reflection, slightly distorted. But if you see the same distorted image enough times, you start to believe it's real. That's what the algorithm does. It doesn't give you the truth, it gives you more of what you've already seen. So if your feed is filled with exaggerated headlines about world events, social issues, or celebrity drama, you'll keep seeing them. And eventually, it'll feel like that's the entire reality, when really, it's just a slice, maybe even a fake slice. And honestly, that's sad. It's sad that we live in a world where people don't stop to ask, is this true? Where research was replaced by, retweets. Where outrage becomes our compass, even if the outrage is built on lies. This is bigger than viral posts. It's about control. Because if you can control what people believe, you can control what they fear, what they fight for, even who they hate. And that future could be happening right now. Fake news doesn't just move faster, it reshapes society. It divides communities. It builds entire movements on shaky ground. And it keeps us distracted, entertained, and outraged, while the truth quietly waits in the corner, ignored. This isn't just about fake headlines, it's about fake realities, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. So the next time a headline may make you gasp, laugh, or even rage, take a second to pause. Ask yourself, is this the truth, or is this bait? Who wants me to feel this way? Who profits from my outrage? Because here's the thing. If lies spread faster because they shock us, then maybe the real rebellion is choosing truth. Even when it's slower. Even when it's less exciting. Because truth may walk, but it's the only thing that arrives. If you enjoyed this video and you're curious about uncovering what's hidden beneath the surface, hit subscribe, give this a like, and join me here next Sunday for another deep dive. Much love.